Everyone wants to move up, from just surviving to finally feeling secure. For most people, that means joining the middle class, a place where bills are paid, savings are growing, and there's finally some breathing room. But getting there isn't just about making more money. It's about being mentally, emotionally, and financially ready for the responsibility that comes with it. In this video, we'll explore the quiet signs that might mean you're not quite ready to step into that middle-class life, at least not yet. One of the first signs is when every increase in income leads to an increase in lifestyle. A raise at work? That means a better phone, better clothes, maybe even a bigger apartment. But here's the problem. When your spending grows as fast as your income, you never get ahead. Middle-class living is about stability. And stability comes from creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend. If you can't let that gap grow, even a six-figure salary won't save you. It's not just about earning more, it's about keeping more. And that takes discipline. A lot of people fall into the trap of feeling like they deserve a reward every time they make more money. And while treating yourself isn't a crime, constantly upgrading your lifestyle means you're stuck in a cycle where your bank account never reflects your hard work. That's not stability. That's stress in disguise. Another sign you're not ready for the middle class? You don't have a system for managing your money. If your idea of budgeting is checking your balance and hoping it lasts, you're not setting yourself up for success. Middle-class living isn't about guessing, and it's about planning. You don't need a complex spreadsheet, but you do need to know how much is coming in, how much is going out, and where it's all going. A lot of people resist budgeting because they think it's restrictive. They see it as limiting their freedom, but in reality, the opposite is true. A budget gives you control. It shows you the bigger picture. Without it, money just slips through your fingers. You might earn enough to live comfortably, but without a plan, you'll always feel like you're just barely keeping up. There's also the mindset issue. If you're still chasing status, if you care more about how things look than how things actually are, that's a red flag. A lot of people want the middle-class lifestyle because of what it looks like from the outside. A nice car, a decent home, trendy clothes, maybe even some travel photos on Instagram. But chasing that image can lead to bad decisions. You'll end up buying things you can't afford, just to keep up appearances. And often you'll do it with debt. Real middle-class living isn't about flexing. It's about building. It's about having a home that's comfortable, not flashy. Clothes that last, not impress. A life that's simple, steady, and secure, not performative. If your choices are still guided by what other people think, you're building a life for them, not for yourself. Another quiet sign is how you respond to small financial setbacks. If a $100 car repair, a sudden medical bill, or a missed paycheck completely derails your month, that's a warning. It doesn't mean you're lazy or bad with money. It just means your foundation isn't strong enough yet. Middle-class security comes from having a buffer, an emergency fund, even a small one, that gives you breathing room when life throws you a curveball. Without that buffer, every problem feels bigger than it is, and the stress builds. You start living paycheck to paycheck, not because you don't earn enough, but because every dollar is already spoken for. Building that cushion takes time, but even saving a little each week adds up. It's less about the amount and more about building the habit. And if you're still relying on credit for daily expenses, that's another indicator. Credit should be a backup, not a routine. When you're using credit to cover groceries, utilities, or transport, that's a cash flow issue, not a convenience. And while credit might cover you for now, the debt eventually demands repayment with interest. You can't move into a financially stable life when debt is doing all the heavy lifting. And once interest builds, it becomes harder to catch up. The goal isn't to live without ever using credit. It's to stop needing it for things that should be covered by your regular income. That's a slow process, but it starts with awareness and small shifts. Another common sign is when your idea of success is based solely on things you own. A car, a mortgage, new appliances, they might feel like milestones, but if they come with monthly payments that leave you stressed and stretched, they're not assets, they're liabilities. Middle-class growth is about building ownership over time, not being weighed down by it. It's easy to confuse ownership with wealth, but real financial progress feels like freedom, not burden. If your income goes straight to repayments every month, you're working for your stuff, not for your future. This mindset shift is hard but necessary. True middle-class security is about balance. Not just what you have, but what you're free to do. And here's a big one. If you keep delaying your financial progress for later, you say, I'll start saving next year. Or once I get that raise, I'll build a plan. That pattern keeps you stuck because time keeps moving and delays become habits. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. Most people who built stability didn't wait for more, and they just started with what they had. Waiting often feels safer than trying, but trying, even imperfectly, is what moves the needle. Whether that's tracking your spending this month, paying an extra $10 toward debt, or opening a savings account, action builds confidence. Every small step lays a brick in the foundation of your future life. Another overlooked sign you're not ready is if you still believe money problems will fix themselves. You avoid checking your balance. You ignore the bills for now. You tell yourself things will work out. That avoidance delays growth. If you want to be middle class, you have to get honest with your money. Look at the numbers. Face them, even if they scare you. Middle class life isn't about having perfect finances. It's about facing them. Knowing what's wrong gives you the power to change it. The more honest you are about your habits, your priorities, and your reality, the faster you can shift direction. Lastly, if your environment doesn't support growth, it matters. Maybe your circle always encourages spending. Maybe you've normalized living broke. If everyone around you treats payday like a celebration and never talks about savings, it's easy to fall into the same loop. Growth often requires changing your environment, or changing how you move within it. That might mean unfollowing certain people online, or saying no to outings that drain your wallet, or spending time with those who are focused on building, not showing off. Your environment shapes your habits. Choose one that makes it easier to grow. The middle class isn't just a number on paper, it's a way of living. One that comes with trade-offs and peace, with fewer emergencies, with space to plan, to rest, to invest in your future. But to get there, you have to be ready. Not just financially, but mentally. You have to want stability more than status, growth more than validation, progress more than comfort. If you're not ready yet, that's okay. Awareness is the first step. Now you can start shifting, quietly, steadily, intentionally. Because becoming middle class doesn't happen all at once. It happens one habit, one mindset, one decision at a time. And if you stay consistent, you'll wake up one day and realize you've built something solid. Something that doesn't look flashy but feels safe. Something real. You'll notice that money doesn't control you the way it used to. You'll stop fearing the end of the month. You'll find peace in the little routines. Checking your budget, saving before spending, saying no without guilt. These aren't signs of restriction. They're signs of growth. They mean you're in charge now. You're not surviving anymore. You're managing, building, and creating space for a better future. And as that foundation grows, so will your confidence. You'll begin to make decisions from a place of calm instead of stress. You'll stop needing validation from purchases or praise, and you'll realize that true wealth was never about how things looked. It was about how secure you feel, quietly behind the scenes. That's the power of readiness. That's how you grow.